Hey everybody, I am here with the lovely Jasmine Williams, and she is the founder of the Reach Club. So I'm a member of the Reach Club, and I have my own reasons why I joined, but I want to hear from Jasmine. Jasmine, what's it all about, and why did you start it?
Of course. Well, first off, thank you for inviting me to chat about this. Really excited to do so. But yes, the reach. So this started from myself. I was experiencing loneliness, to be honest. Not to start on kind of a downer, but a couple years ago, especially those weird pandemic years where we were still working, most of us were still working remotely, but you could still go out into the world. And I at that point had already been working remotely. I'd been working as a freelance consultant, so already worked from home. I had a network of people. I used to go to a physical co-working space, but then when that closed with the pandemic, I kind of lost that touch point, I guess. Like I used to have this space where I could just regularly go and see people that I knew or see new faces, and it was just great. It was kind of like a second home mixed with an office. It was a really fun place to be. And then I lost that with the pandemic, and I didn't lose touch with people. I still had those connections, but I found I was struggling to see people. Like, I was on Zoom or I was on calls, but I would always have to, if I wanted to co-work with people, then I had to set it up. I had to like figure out, when are we going to do this? Where are we going to do this? Oh, we get to this coffee shop. Oh, it's kind of busy today. Oh, the chairs aren't comfortable. So I would just found myself, I would end up just kind of working from home as a default, because sometimes going outside of my house was too much, and then trying to schedule calls with friends would be too much. So I had this idea. At first, the first iteration or first idea I had was to do almost like pop-up events. I put it on my Instagram stories at the time, where I was like, I'm tired of going to these coffee shops and still feeling like I'm alone just in a coffee shop and drinking an overpriced latte. Like, this would be a lot more fun if I could have other people. Like, I kind of wanted to bring that co-working space vibe, but like maybe to different places. So I was like, would anybody want to just do this as like a regular thing? Like, we all should go to this thing. And I got so many people, like 40, 50 people, like responded to my poll on my,
Whoa.
yeah. And like, I had decent engagement. I was much more on Instagram at the time, but still I was like, whoa, that's a lot of people. I think I've kind of touched on something here. But I immediately got overwhelmed. Like, I don't know if I want to actually plan something like this. I don't know how logistically this would even work. So I kind of put that idea aside, but then I thought, okay, I still want to test it out, and the easiest way to do that would just be to host some calls on Zoom. So that's how I started. I just started doing it twice a week, kind of similarly to how we run the calls now inside the Reach. And I just kind of set up a event page and was like, this is what I'm doing. I do it twice a week, show up, and we'll work together. And it was cute. It was like this nice little community. You got to see people regularly. I felt less alone. I felt like I got to see other people, and like, it just gave me that co-working experience again, where I'm like, I get to see people, but it's not in this event space, where we have to be on, and I have to be like, hi, I'm Jasmine, I'm a business owner. you know, I could just be like, hey, I'm tired, but I'm working on something, and whatever. The connections could be a lot more natural, or you could just talk about your weekend, whatever. So that was cool, but after a while I got a little tired of running it. Also, I was doing this all for free, like all the scheduling, all the hosting, and I just felt like, okay, I want this to be a bit more sustainable for myself. It is a lot of energy to build this out and host people. So I was like, I think the only way to make this sustainable for myself is to monetize it in some way. Clearly, there's still a need for it, but I just want to be able to kind of cover my time and maybe see where it goes as well, being a business owner. And so then that led to the Reach, and our mutual friend Trista. Like, we'd kind of gone back and forth on this idea, and then last fall I was just like, Trista, I want to build it out, and I think you're the person to help me. And we built it all out. We built out the website, we built out the community platform, and then March of this year I launched it, and here we are. So yeah, that's a long backstory, but that is the that's how it came to be.
Awesome. I wonder how many businesses are started due to the owner's own pain point.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to start something, right? Like, if you
Hmm.
feel it, because I also feel like with any business, if you're just starting it to make money, you're going to get bored really quick. And I think if you genuinely care about the problem you're solving, then that helps you stick with it, especially through the highs and the lows. And that's how I feel with this, where I'm like, I'm solving my own problem first, and everything else that comes out of it is great. But I'm really bought into it, and it's even something that even when I was building it, it was tough because I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this community so bad, and I'm building it, and you just hope that it works because I personally wanted it to work.
Mm-hmm. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you start, I've been on your mailing list for a while, and as soon as you started sending out emails saying this is what's coming, whatever, I was like, oh, awesome, I'm in. I think you had a wait list or something, and I was like, great, sign me up. For me, yes, the loneliness for sure. I find that so, it can be like everything from, just kind of boring to like painful, like when you're struggling and you're like, you feel like you have no one to turn to, that kind of thing. So, I just find it so much more fun to have a community to work with. Yeah. And I find the appointments keep me more productive. I've said this to you before, so we meet Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 1. And it's a really, if anybody's interested in joining, it's a really laid back kind of, you don't have to show up right at 11. But for me, a lot of my work is self-directed. Yeah. And so I can just end up filling up like any amount of time. Like I spent 2 days working on a blog post yesterday, the last 2 days, and it's not supposed to go like that. So I really need to create these structures and deadlines in my day. And I do find that, it's like I have something to do at 11. Yeah. And it gives me sort of a false urgency to be like, okay, I want to finish this up and then go there. Yeah. And there's a social aspect. So we get to hang out and chit chat a little bit. Do you want to talk a little bit about how the meetings are structured?
Absolutely. Yeah, because it was very intentional. And like I'm a strategist by trade, so everything I do, like I want it to feel natural, but I put a lot of thought into everything. But yeah, so how it's structured, it was kind of again based off of things I'd struggled with in the past, where I joined co-working sessions in person, online, been about a part of so many different communities, and I found sometimes they're either too short, like maybe like an hour, and I didn't really feel like I got enough done. Like sometimes I feel like I need like 10 minutes just to kind of settle in. So when I felt those were too short, a lot of times too, I felt like it was either too chit-chatty or too social or too quiet. Like I joined some things where it felt like it was a little bit more anonymous. Like you could join and then work on whatever you were doing. But because it was so quiet, I sometimes would even forget that I was on a call, and then I would hear a voice kind of coming at me being like, okay, sprint's done, and I'd be like, who's that? So that's what I was thinking when I was kind of structuring these co-working calls, where I'm like, I want it to be a little bit longer, and I also want it to be a good balance of the chit chat plus the working, because that's personally what I wanted. And again, since I knew I wanted it, I was like, let me build for myself, and then I can kind of iterate from there based on what other people want. So our calls are 2 hours long. I like to think of it more as a container versus a structured appointment. So like you said, you can join anytime throughout those 2 hours. We have kind of a natural stopping point midway where we usually take a break, because there's 2 45-minute work sprints. So generally it's like you join, we chat a little bit, we share what's going on, we get started around let's say 11:10, 11:15. We'll work till 12, take another little break, and then we'll work again till 1 p.m. So yeah, people can join. Like I'm there, I'm the host, so I hold the structure for people, but I don't want anybody to feel like they are forced into this container, because I also know we all have our own work days and we have appointments, and I can kind of block off this 2 hours in my schedule because I have a lot of control over my schedule. But not everybody does. Some people, and not everybody wants to work for 2 hours straight. Maybe some people want to just work for an hour and then hop off. So I also wanted to give people that flexibility as well, where it's like, okay, I personally like to do a good focus sprint and then wrap up, go for a walk, have lunch, whatever. But also for people in different time zones, they're maybe joining earlier or later. So, I try to kind of allow people to come in, do what they need to do, take what they want, and leave. And I find that helps too just for people who are kind of interested in the concept but don't really know what it is or have never even done anything like this. They're like, what the heck? You just work on Zoom for 2 hours, it's like, well, give it a shot, you know, you don't have to stay, but like see, just hop in and see. And I find that helps people kind of be like, oh, okay, this is what this is.
I find I like, it's fun to kind of hear about how you created it, because I agree that it's a nice mix of social time and work.
Yeah.
Like too much social and I get super antsy.
Yeah.
And I notice too that sometimes people are just continuing to work during the social period,
I've
which
noticed
is totally
it, yeah.
fine too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that whole, like if you get into something, you don't have to break for the social chit chat. But another thing that's nice about the social chit chat is we are really all like entrepreneurs, freelancers, etc.,
Yeah.
able to help each other out. So
Yeah.
definitely in that social time, there's been conversations about, hey, do you guys know how to do this or that,
Yeah.
or that kind of thing. So it's there is sort of a networking component, but like I don't know, just a support component.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, where I've like thought about how like, you know, or there've been a part of conversations where people have said like, oh, you should like, have you thought about making it more focused or making it just for writers or just for one kind of person? And again, thinking back to that co-working space, I always loved meeting different kinds of people. Like I don't like being around the same kind of person all the time, or just like, there's a time and space for that. Like I am a part of communities that are very much focused on my industry and my niche, and it's great. You can talk shop, and it's like, okay, you get this. It's not just jargon that's going over your head. But I also love meeting, people like yourself, or the designers in the community, or like there's artists. There's like my friend Ross, who does like CRM builds, and they're like, everybody's doing such interesting things. And I think too, also because I'm a nerd and I like learning about people, I enjoy that. Like I enjoy that we're not all in the same world. And I think though that diversity of thought and perspective is important, right? Because if you're just kind of in this echo chamber and you're only talking to people who are exactly like you, then you're not going to get that outside opinion of like, hey, I'm not a designer, and what you said makes zero sense to me,
Yeah.
So I think that's helpful. Like sometimes you get in your own head, your own world, and you're like, oh right, I forget there's other like civilians out there who don't just talk about like funnels all day.
I have to, often I have to leave early, and I will put in the chat, you've probably noticed, I'll be like,
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta run, thanks for the human contact, everyone.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's what it's like. It's like, it's easy if you're working at home to just spend days and days and days realizing like you're not talking to a lot of other humans.
Yeah.
And you need that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I actually had a very meta experience a few weeks ago because I was a part of this event for community builders. So it's like a community for community builders. And it was like, whoa, this is so niche, but so cool. And I realized too that I'm like, oh, wow, I've been in my own world in a way because I haven't actually been around other community builders. So I was just talking through some of the things that I was noticing or things I'm seeing, and just to talk to other people who are like running in-person communities or running communities for corporate, for like bigger companies. And I was like, wow, this is like, I needed this.
You
I
go in
like
there
this.
like this, like I know everything about community building or whatever, and then suddenly it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
there's so many different ideas here, and
Yeah. And
awesome.
it was one of those experiences where I'm like, yeah, this is why I love community, and I love kind of what I'm trying to build with the Reach, where we can all connect kind of cross-functionally and get out of our own heads, because you just don't really, sometimes when you're so focused on your own ideas and your own vision that you don't actually see that maybe other people have already solved this problem or have already experienced this and have tried things that you could try. So yeah.
Cool. I love it. Well, I like the vibe. As someone who's been part of it for a few months now,
Yeah.
I like the vibe. I always look forward to coming, and it's just great. So if somebody out there is interested, what should they do?
Well, we have a free trial, so you can try it 2 weeks for free and get a vibe. You can join the co-working calls, you can explore the space, totally risk-free. That's always what I recommend. Like, just give it a shot, see what you like. No hard feelings, This isn't for everybody, and that's totally fine. I think too, something I've been testing out for the summer and I want to keep doing on a monthly basis. We actually have one tomorrow. I haven't promoted it all that much this month. It's been a little hectic, but I started doing these kind of open house calls. So it's like you can join without even signing up for a trial. So extremely, extremely low risk. You just sign up for the free event. You get a feel for the coworking call because that's kind of the main, I believe, anchor of the community, what people really come for. And again, a great way to test things out. And of course, you could just talk to me. I'm happy to chat and answer any questions. And just like, I think right now it's small and it's cozy, and like I love that about it. So I like, as long it is as it is the size and scale that is I want to keep that personal connection with everybody, and I want to talk to everybody and answer everybody's questions, because I feel like with anything that's also a community, you all are part of what makes it, right? Like, I can't make it good on my own. It's everybody. So I want to make sure that everybody feels good about it and that they're getting value out of it, because that's the only way it'll grow.
That sounds fantastic. So we'll include all the links, obviously, when we post this video.
Yeah.
And any final thoughts?
Final thoughts would be like, just come give it a shot. I'd say, like, if you're somebody who works from home, if you're kind of a creative or self-employed person, or you work remotely and you just want a little bit more accountability, you want to connect with other people kind of across different avenues, different industries, then just give it a shot.
Sounds great. Okay, everybody, give it a shot.
Yes.
That's what we're left with. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll see you again soon, Jasmine.
Okay,
See you
thank
in the
you so
Reach
much.
Club.
Yes,
Okay.
see you in the Reach. Okay, bye.